so is there any query? Related or unrelated query?
I had a question. I have seen the Mahabharata and Ramayana in movies or Kinarayan, and also I've read these, and it says the children should always listen, should follow what their parent says, right? But there are times when children feel that they might have a different opinion. So I wanted to know, what does the Lord think? If the children supposed to follow?
Okay, make your question precise.
Yeah. So
Precise and pinpoint it.
So as Lord Ram, he went on Vanvas to fulfill his father's promise. So what I learned from Ramayana is you should always follow your father's advice. But sometimes personally, I am at point of time, I have a different, want to follow a different path. So I want to know, will I be punished, or will the Lord have a different view if I don't follow his advice?
What's your actual question? Pinpoint. You understand?
So you in the Mahabharata and Ramayana, you feel that, I mean, it says that you should follow your parents?
Yeah.
I understand the description of your question, but what do you want to ask?
Which part should he not follow or follow? Which is
If he doesn't follow like what the father says, if he wants to
Yeah.
go another path, what
Yeah.
could be the consequences?
Will I have the support of the Lord, or no?
Which will?
If
The
you
question
disobey-
is what is the will of the Father? Is the Father's will in alignment? Is the Father properly orientated? Is the Father properly situated? If the Father is properly situated, then the will of the Father is in alignment. But if the Father is not properly aligned, then if he's disorientated himself, he can't. You have to take shelter of one who's transcendental, and once you're situated in the shelter of a transcendental personality, you're immediately transcendental yourself, and then after that, there's no more any question. Everything is.
You gave a full commentary. Maybe he didn't even mean to ask that deeper way, that wider way, the way you see. You understood his question. See, he even explained about your question, what you may not have thought about.
Yeah.
Well, that was your answer. Then, when you had the inspiration to give the explanation that you gave, that was indirectly answering his question. That if you're properly situated, there's no question of anything being improper.
Sure.
Once you're what is the proper situation?
Proper adjustment.
What is orientation?
Harmonious
To
adjustment.
be the like Vastu. The proper orientation in the room, you feel very nice, the energy is in alignment. So when you're properly aligned in the shelter of a properly situated, devoted to the Lord, then your life is in alignment with the Lord's will. And there's no question of whatever your Father's will is, will naturally be in alignment. It may seem some point but his actual interest is the same. He just may be an illusion as far as not understanding.
His Leela character is there.
His character may show some at one point.
This cannot be such type of activities, okay, around Rāmacandra, Dasharatha Maharaj in Ramayana. Such type of actions or doing cannot be just only understood in only logical way. Understand? Through logical hypothesis. But there is Leela character involved. The nature of Leela, pastimes, involved with this. So
Even
it has to be understood.
Even with divine persons, what to speak of people who are coming to Krishna consciousness. So if Rama's Leela showed that his own father and himself had some aspect of, you could say, difficulty. So what can we expect in our own life with our parents. If Rama had problems with his father, what should we expect?
Number one, he didn't have any problem with his father in the first place. Number one. Because it has been described in the Ramayana. Lord Rama was of that exalted quality. He was such a personality of such exalted quality that he was taking both in the same way. That he was going to be appointed, installed as king of Ajodha. And while he had to accept his duty, holy duty to fulfill his father, the honor of the word of his father. So Lord Rama actually took both, accepted both in the same way. Whether he goes to be, whether he goes to become the king, installed as king, or going to the forest, exile. Both were same, very similar to him. He was the noble personality, very magnanimous, noble personality of such caliber, of such super excellent qualities. So it was not really a problem to Lord Rama.
Was it a test?
No. We see, when we understand in the first place, Lord Rama was not just ordinary person, not ordinary emperor. At least he was a godly personality. At least. Those who do not want to believe him as supreme God, supreme personality of God. So he's a high-class godly personality. At least. We accept him as a transcendental God. So, what can be a problem to God in the first place? It's my question. So my question answers. Your question. So, what can be? Supreme God means he is the solver. He is the resolver. Great supreme solution to all problems. So, why he should be suffering from any other problem? Because since being the supreme resolver of all the problems, that is the Siddhanta, conception of Supreme God. So he cannot have any problem, he cannot be suffering. So it's all Leela. Leela aspect is coming to be educating the society, educating the whole world, mankind, society about the higher ethics of human life, higher values, higher ethics, higher noble qualities of the human life, for all that. But so therefore, for the purpose of educating us and also enjoying his Leela, relishing his own pastimes, he did all these, which appear to be great problematic and problems. I tell you, Lord Rama is so powerful, such a big, noble, heroic personality, is full of power, also mystical, divine power. Even goddess Sita Devi, Lakshmi Tattva, herself is Lakshmi Tattva herself. So, there could be no question for the Ravana, no question for the Ravana could arise that he would even touch Sita Devi, or what to speak more of forcing her. Just by a glimpse of the willpower, Sita Devi could destroy Ravana. I repeat, just simply by a fraction of the willpower she has got as Lakshmi Tattva, Ravana is nothing, not even a spark. He will be destroyed. Now, huge drama, a big, dramatic performance and pastimes. Otherwise, Ramayana would not be manifesting. If everything just happens like this, Supreme Lord cannot relish Bir Rasa. There will be no scope for the Supreme Almighty to be relishing some mellows, heroic mellows, one of the 12 rasas, heroic mellows. If everything is just performed by just a fraction of his willpower, the way Lord Nrsimha killed Hiranyakashipu, playing and playing and playing, and then at some point killing Hiranyakashipu, where he could have just kill in a fraction of second by his willpower. No so much demonstration are required. That is the truth. That's the reality. So, therefore, we also have to understand Ramayana, all the ways of Lord Rama and his associates Dasharatha, Kaushalya. They're playing the different roles, different vital roles in the world of the pastimes, holistic pastimes of Lord Rama, Sita Devi, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna, Hanumanji. This is the final conclusion about this. We have to understand. Now, coming down on the plane of ethical estimations, ethical, coming down on the plane of the morals, judging all this, trying to understand and considering from the moral grounds, from the grounds of the ethics, higher human ethics. Now, all these justifications and the considerations will come. Okay? So, see, your main question getting lost now.
Yeah.
Did you mean to say in particular way? Now let me tell you. Supreme Emperor, like a big emperor, big general, big hero, entering his family and becoming horse to his small baby, playing a horse, giving a horse ride to his child out of great affection. Or a child, small child is pulling the father by finger and father is just going, following, just being pulled by his baby, his child whom he loves so much. Father helplessly going here and there, doing this according to the will of the babies. Sometimes playing like a horse. And baby is riding, child, he is giving a ride of his beloved child. That is Leela.
Yeah.
But actually, factually, he is an emperor. He is an emperor, very powerful hero and emperor, with the power of the emperor. But he is lovingly becoming like that. So when we are questioning, we are trying to understand, if somebody is saying that for the first time without having any knowledge, proper conception, he is an emperor. Without having any conception, any idea, who is he? Just seeing for the first time, saying, oh, a nice looking, beautiful, nice looking person, strong looking person is becoming horse. Okay, to his small child, just in a fatherly way. Okay, we only just see that part. Okay, cannot connect that it is a loving activity. It's a, how to say, deliberate activity. He's not bound to do that. It's not that he is being pressurized. Okay.
Willingly.
Okay. He is being forced to do that. Emperor playing like horse, forced to do that. Okay, under some oppression, or like house servant, he has to do that. It's not like that. Although it may look like. The fact is that he, the great, powerful emperor, is playing that role out of great love for his child. Okay, entertaining him, and he is also becoming entertained. That is Leela aspect. And when he is coming back to his emperor position, that is objective, realistic aspect. Understand? So emperor is not relating to his queen or daughter or beloved child like emperor way. Understand? Very personal, loving way, different relationship with his own wife, with his own child, with his own daughter, children, wife. It's an inner circle. He is not acting there as powerful emperor, big hero, anytime will kill him and punish him, not acting like that. Okay. But when he's coming back to the emperor's situation, same person is seen in a different way, different role, another objective role. Why I am saying all this? Okay. So, Lord Rāmacandra is Almighty in the first place. He is Almighty God in the first place. Okay? Those who do not, I mean, he is an expansion, he is one of the forms. He is one of the forms of the Supreme Almighty God, period. Those who do not believe in that, at least they believe in the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Okay? A direct expansion, incarnation of Lord Vishnu. No, so in that way, he is so powerful, he doesn't need all this. Okay? Alright. He really didn't need to go to the forest in the exile, okay, to fulfill the word of honor of his father. He did not even need to allow Ravana to kidnap Sita Devi. He did not even need to cry for Sita Devi in separation. He did not even need to accumulate, many soldiers, monkey soldiers, other soldiers, taking the preparation as the part of preparation to fight against Ravana powerful. Or he did not even need to continue many days battle, heavy war with the Ravana. He did not need all this in the first place. Okay. But he needed all this to have the Leela, pastimes. That is the truth.
To teach us.
To teach us, to educate us, to give us the taste of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Okay?
To educate us how to live.
To educate us with the higher ethical values, higher ethics of human being, ideal human beings. To educate us, teach us with the higher morality, okay, highest kind of moral principles. To educate us with the loving sacrifice for your own good and making loving sacrifice for the subjects of the kingdom, how to become an ideal king, to educate us to make loving sacrifice for some greater good. He was such a Lord who made so much sacrifice, in his life.
He's a pioneer of
Yeah,
making.
not an enjoying type of Lord. He was not enjoying type of Lord. But he was Supreme Lord who manifested, who lived his lifestyle to so much sacrifice, and he took it happily for the subjects of his kingdom. Okay. He did it. He didn't need to do all this. He was not under obligation to do all this, but he did it kindly, lovingly, graciously. So, therefore, he is called as Marjada Purushottama, best of men. This highest, super excellent example of a best man, okay, best of all men, with high honor, high respectability, high honor, Marjada Purushottama. So, he could have solved it. He could have easily talked to Mother Kaikeyi. Okay, oh, my father gave you that boon. Sorry, my father has been committed to you. Okay, obliged to you to give you a boon. See, he has not given now. Okay, whatever you have wanted, whatever boon you have wanted, my father was already obliged. He already promised to give you that boon. Now you have wanted, mother, you have wanted this boon. Okay. This is the way it will make you happy, that I go to exile, your son Bharata would be installed as king in my place. Okay. You really want that way, mother? So, he could have even diplomatically solved it. Okay, I will not be any competitor on the way of your son Bharata to be installed on the throne of royal throne and to become king. He will become a lifelong king. Bharata, I fully accept it. I promise to you that your son Bharata will be installed on the throne and he will become a lifelong king. I will become subordinate to Bharata. That is your main desire, to make your son. You want to see your son becoming king instead of me. So I fully accept it, Mother Kaikeyi. So for that reason, you do not have to really want that boon, okay, from my father, painstaking, causing so much pain to his heart because he is so lovingly attached with me. So, for my father, that I go to the forest for 14 years is excruciatingly painful, intensely painful. My mother, I request you, please don't cause so much pain to the heart of your husband, who is my father. Why should you accept that? Why should you take up this way? Don't be hurting my father's feeling, cause so much pain to my father's heart. I accept. I am talking to my father and will make him agree that I lovingly accept my brother Bharata become the king. That's all you want. You don't really want to cause trouble to me, send me exile, okay, causing pain to me. So he could have solved, even in a logical way, talking to Mother Kaikeyi. But he did not take up that way, because Kshatriya way is that pran jai par bachan na jai. Okay? And that is the tradition of the Raghu Vangsha, Raghukula Tilaka. Sutarang, so he was representing also that noble Raghu lineage, where they always had the great word of honor.
Yeah, man of words.
Man
Like
of
they say
words,
something
promises. So once it is promised, it should be fulfilled. So, not for him
for his ancestors.
to keep up the word of his father, to keep up the value, okay, of the promise given by his father, made by his father to Kaikeyi, Rāmacandra accepted, willingly, happily accepted that. Oh, Mother Kaikeyi wanted this way. Not only making her son to be king of Ajodha, but also her condition that I have to go in exile, forest exile for 14 years. Okay, I happily accept. And Dasharatha could not accept that. He had extreme pain to accept that, and he could not give that. Although he gave word of honor to Kaikeyi, he could not grant that. How could he grant that? Sending his eldest son, beloved son Rama, to the exile for 14 years, it is not only to do with making the Bharata king instead of Rāmacandra, but also sending Rāmacandra, his beloved eldest son, in exile, into the exile for 14 years. How could he accept? So he could not grant that. He could not keep up word of honor to Kaikeyi. He could not keep up his promise. He never thought in even dream. He could have imagined. He never imagined even in his dream anyway that Kaikeyi would be coming up with such a heinous way, heinous political manner, to be wanting such type of cruel boon from Dasharatha. He never thought of that. So he almost fainted, broken-hearted, fainted. He was not in a position to even talk to her before such cruelty. But Lord Rama could not do that. Lord Rama, he knew it was his duty to fulfill the promise of his father, because out of great love, loving attachment towards Lord Rama, he knew father could not grant that, could not give that, could not accept that proposal of Kaikeyi. But he felt it was his duty. My father could not do, but since my father gave the word of honor, it is my duty to fulfill it. I will do it. Even if my father cannot accept it, he is broken-hearted. See. Now his question also that, why Dasharatha Maharaj had to suffer so much? Why it could not be so harmonized? Because after all, he is the father of God. He is the father of God. Kaushalya Devi is the mother of God. Dasharatha, King Dasharatha was none other than father of God, who is Supreme Almighty, and who is the resolver of all problems. Supreme God means Supreme Harmonist. Why it could not be harmonized, well adjusted, harmonized in a happy way? He means to say that question. Why everything could not be adjusted and harmonized, planned in a very happy, nice way? Why they had to suffer so much? King Dasharatha, Mother Kaushalya, fainting in extreme pain. They are losing consciousness again and again. Upon knowing their beloved Rama had to go to exile for 14 years. They could not take it, heartbroken. Why such suffering? Why such situation of this suffering, great suffering, should be created in the family of Supreme God? That's his question. Why it could not be harmonized happily? Why this could not be solved, could not be resolved? And why it all had to develop from the Rāmacandра's 14 years of exile, then Ravan coming there, kidnapping Sita, and then big problem, Shurpanakha came, Lakshmana cut the nose, and then all developing, if Rāmacandra, and then big fight, war between Ram and Ravana took place. All these things would not have happened in the first place if this could be resolved in the Ajodhya. Okay, in the Ajodhya. All these things would not develop, would not be necessary. So much suffering, even according to his conception, the battle, war between Ram and Ravana, between Rāmacandra and Ravana, big suffering, killing many jivas, big bleeding, okay, a lot of killing involved. Although good killing the evil, but still lot of killing involved. Power play and everything. Why it should have happened? That's his question. The one and only answer in a relative way and absolutely, especially my answer, or it's not my answer, the answer from the absolute stand, answer given by the Guru Varga, okay, answer given by the Guru Varga from the absolute stand, beyond the relative ways, is that it was necessary, it was all necessary because of doing Leela. Having such plays, to be tasting all different rasas. There are only not 5 rasas, 12 rasas is there. There are 12 rasas. Apart from 5 main rasas, Shanta, Dasya, Shakha, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Also there are another 6 rasas. 5? 7. 6, 7. 7 plus 5, 12. So, other 7 rasas are there. So Supreme Lord wanted to have some relishes of different other rasas also, which included Bir rasa, the heroic mellows, okay, having the happiness of heroism, enjoying the fun of heroism, heroic actions. Also, the rasas of showing kindness, compassion, the heroic rasa. Also Raudra, anger. Then, Vibhatsa sometimes, so how to say in English?
Disgust.
Vibhatsa means very dangerous. What you said?
I sometimes hear disgust.
Disgusting
like
rasa.
Disgust. Vibhatsa.
Extreme anger.
Anger, disgusting mellows. Anyway.
Destructive.
Okay, it's not exactly thing. Vibhatsa means not exactly disgusting, or kind of disgusting, but like horror. That is the more appropriate word. Horrible horror.
Having your wife stolen.
What?
Like having your wife stolen.
Having what?
Your wife stolen. That's pretty horrible.
Horrible, yeah, wife stolen. Horrible Russia, horror. And then teaching Rāmacandra, then teaching a very good lesson, teaching a very practical lesson to Ravana. Okay, I repeat, teaching a very, very good, strong lesson, okay, to Ravana. Also there. And Ravana became very arrogant. He was a great exploiter, okay, very arrogant and oppressive emperor during those days, to overpower the evil. So to protect the good against the evil, the evil power, it was also duty, a part of the Leela of Rāmacandra. Otherwise the Leela activities of fighting the evil to protect the good will not happen. Protecting the good against evil will not happen. Okay, because he can just kill everything, fraction of second, like the way Lord Krishna showed to Arjuna in the Vishwarupa. What he showed? Arjuna, why are you worrying so much? You are thinking you are killing. You are not killing. You are being used by me to kill. Okay, you simply become instrumental. Look at my jaws of the Viratu, very furious, all the heads. He showed to Arjuna in a more symbolical way. Okay? Okay, more symbolical way. Look, all the heads of the big heroes are now, okay, in the, how to say, division of the teeth, in the cracks. In the cracks of my teeth of the Mahakala Rupa. Mahakala Rupa, the form of destruction. Look at me in the form of destroyer. Okay, supreme annihilator, destroyer also. Look at, already before their actual death, now war has not even started. Kurukshetra war has not even started. So now you see the future. I show you the future. In a symbolical way, all their heads, cut off heads are now hanging around or stuck in the cracks of the jaws and cracks of my teeth of the Mahakala face. Arjuna looked at some point, a great hero like Arjuna started trembling in fear. A great hero, superhero like Arjuna, so powerful. He started to tremble, shake in fears, could not take that Vishwarupa. It's not only its vastness, not only its majestic nature and vastness, powerful nature, but also horror of the power, danger, furiousness in the Mahakala Rupa. He also could not take so much. Generally, Arjuna is fearless person, great hero. He was also fearful. He prayed to Lord Krishna, please withdraw it. I cannot take anymore. Please withdraw it. Please withdraw and be back to the form of my loving friend, sweet friend. Then, fulfilling his desire, Krishna came back to his original form of his sweet friend. Okay. So thereafter, Arjuna had no question. Before that, he asked him many questions, doubting into Krishna's power and all. Then at some point, he experienced so much power. He said, withdraw, stop it. His mood was opposite. I have no more doubt, my Lord. I have no more doubt. All doubts are satisfied, all resolved. I have no more questions about you, about your power. Just withdraw it. So Krishna said that. Let's become instrumental. Nimitta matrang bhavasabha sachin. You simply, Arjuna, what you are thinking? You are going to kill all those big heroes. They are such heroic personalities, even more powerful than you. There are some heroes in the Kurukshetra who are more powerful than no less powerful. You think you can kill everyone? Then, look, I have already killed them. I have already killed them beforehand. In a prospective way, they are already killed. Since I have wished The moment I have willed, the moment I have wished to kill the evil, to protect the good, they are already killed. No, they are already factually killed. Still it's remaining in a prospective way. Because I am Supreme Lord, I have full control over past, present and future situation. So I can show you that fact ahead of time, even before the official start of the Kurukshetra war. Before it even start officially, I can show you the future's fact. Because I am Supreme Lord, I can do it. But you cannot see it unless I show you. So now I show you the fact. They have already been killed by me, by my willpower. Now, all you have to do, become instrumental to kill them, to set the example of protecting the good against the evil. That's why I have appeared in this world, to set that example of protecting the good against the evil. It's one of my activities called Bhubhar Harana activities. Okay, freeing the Mother Earth from the burden. Liberating Mother Earth, okay, from the burden of the sinful activities of the demons or the evil force. So I have promised. It's a part of my lila. Okay, in the yuga, on the specific times I appear to do that, to liberate, to deliver, to free the Mother Earth from all the burdens of the sinful activities, sinful evil activities. That's what I am doing. And that's why I want you to do. You are Kshatriya. It's your job. Do your job dutifully. Okay. Be instrumental. I am doing everything. Kalasmi lokak sayakrit praviddho. As Mahakal, I have done everything. You just play the role. Be instrumental. Why I am explaining so much? For Rāmacandra Leela also the same principle applies. Just in a fraction of a moment he could have killed Ravana. No question arises that Ravana, simply no question arises for Ravana to even come nearby Sita without her permission. What to speak more of touching her? What to speak more of kidnapping? If he is not allowed to do that. He was allowed. So, therefore, before the death of Ravana chanted Ram Nam. Before leaving the material body, before Ravana leaving the material body, he left his material body looking at the face of Lord Rama, having darshan of Lord Rama, chanting Ram Nam, and he was given liberation. See? So he was a part of the player, part of the whole Leela. If there was no Ravana, Ramachandra's Leela would not be so much promoted. Okay. Like in a movie, villains are required. When you go to watch a movie, if the movie is only flowing with the heroes, all in a positive way, nice and very good, nice way, it doesn't become so tasteful. At some point you feel, bored. Okay, it's boring. Okay, only good and good. But when this role of the villain, there's comparative feelings are there, comparative situation, then people like that movie. Okay, so role of villain, so see a role, some specific roles of the villain also required to promote the value of the good principle. Okay, in a comparative study, so ultimately it's all the experience of the Leela of the Absolute. That is the fact. Now, from the relative, judging or considering from the relative platform in this mundane world, all these, all these considerations and judging and justifications are coming. All these questions of, judgments, judging right or wrong, it could be that way or this way, or reasoning, trying to understand through reasoning, and some considerations are appearing. See, so again, from the relative platform, relative earthly platform of understanding, we know Lord Ramacandra did all this to be setting the highest noble examples of how the best of man should become, okay, should be qualified with best principles, highest noble values, highest noble values of the human, highest values of the humans, highest ideals of the noble human beings, and how they should be carrying on, how they should be carrying on the truth, the higher values, the highest values, highest ideals, noble ideals of the life, ethics of the life, how they should be so compassionate and lovingly, happily sacrificing for the good of others, like the way Rāmacandra did in his life. Okay, set the examples of how to be happily sacrificing, okay, for the good of others, how to go beyond the selfish, motivations, and also taking care of for the good of others, with love and care, how to become a true noble king, a true ideal king come emperor, and how to at the same time, how to become filled, how to become embodiment of superheroic power, at the same time be so gentle. See, how to become a superhero with superheroic power, so much strength and power, at the same time be so gentle and compassionate. Somewhat like elephant. Limited example. A big elephant, so strong, so powerful, so strong, but so gentle also, unless it becomes angry and furious. Normally, it is so gentle, but at the same time very strong. So Rāmacandra set that example of the combination of noble heroic power, so strong, so powerful, at the same time so gentle and compassionate. The way he is honoring his superiors, the way he was honoring the devotees of Lord, okay, so with so much humbleness, gentlemanly way, the way he was showing compassion to others, supremely exemplary, most nobly exemplary, noble examples. If we could receive a king like Rāmacandra in this world today, whole world would be so developed, so flourished. It would be turning into a most beautiful, wonderful, divine world. So, for establishing such noble examples of the higher human ethics, ethical value, morality, heroic examples, okay, that of nobility, power, at the same time, compassion to one and all, making sacrifice for the good of others. Lord Rāmacandra did all this Leela. Even Sita Devi was also playing part. Goddess Sita Devi was also playing part to promote the Leela overall of Supreme Lord Rāmacandra. Okay, so she allowed Ravana to kidnap her, like in a drama. It's not real kidnapping. In the drama, in a movie, you see people are killing each other. One is playing the role of a dead man. A villain is killing another person, attacking, so much killing and all, but they are unreal. They are dramatically real, but factually unreal. They are not real facts. Okay? But looking like facts. In a similar way, Ravana kidnapped Sita Devi. It's a dramatic reality, not really real. Not real reality. Okay? Or Rāmacandra taking so much endeavor to kill Ravana. It's a dramatic reality, no real reality. Okay? How Hanumanji was devoted to promote the glory of Hanumanji, how he was devoted to the service of Rāmacandra. Okay. Again, Hanumanji, another example, great example of power and gentle care, compassionate together. Power and gentle care both combined together in Hanumanji. so much dedication, submissiveness to Lord Rāmacandra, at the same time superheroic power. Ravan is nothing. Hanumanji once told Rāmacandra, if you allow me, my Lord, if you just allow me to teach Ravan a good lesson, you just order me, I am good enough to destroy him, to finish him. You don't have to bother. You just order me. Just give me a hint. My Lord, you don't have to bother about, okay, making so much sacrifice to kill Ravana. Just order me. I am doing that task. But I know if I do that, your Leela will not be promoted. Your heroic, noble heroic Leela will not be promoted. So I cannot do that. I cannot do that. So, see, judging, understanding, considering Sita Rama Leela, Ramacandra Leela, activity from a conditioned relative standpoint, and considering the same, understanding the same from the absolute stand. From the absolute stand is purely Leela, all Leela. And from the relative stand it was all necessary to teach the society, to educate the society, educate the mankind. To be educating the mankind with higher, decorated, okay, with the highest human values, ethics, morals, nobility, power and compassion. He was embodiment of that. He was highest embodiment of all these qualifications. That is Lord Rama. Okay.
Thank you so much for your knowledge, for sharing so much.
So, all the heartbreaking scenes of Dasharatha Maharaj, I mean, your question was, again say, that it could have been settled another way, yes? Or if Ramacandra did not go to the forest, that was your question, I remember. If he did not go to the forest to fulfill the promise of his father, would it be wrong? Would it be something?
Yeah, so I like to watch the movies and I can apply these things in my life, which sometimes is not, possible.
See, even if Lord Rama would not have taken up that way of going to the exile, to the forest for 14 years, there would be nothing wrong. He could have settled it in different way. Because since Dasharatha Maharaj did not actually grant that boon to Kaikeyi, he did not give it, he did not accept that. Okay, so since his father did not commit himself, did not give that boon, accept that desire of Kaikeyi, so officially by law, Ramacandra was not bound.
Yeah, my question was
but in order to keep the high honor of his father, dignity, of his word of honor, what he promised, even if he was broken-hearted, Ramacandra gladly took it up. Gladly. Of course, he had other purpose to do that also. What is your question?
Yeah, my question was, we know that Ramayana was planned, but my point was, he was a devotee of his father. He blindly followed him. He knew his father, whatever his father said was right for him. But when I apply this principle in my life, sometimes it's difficult to apply this in my life when I have something else, if I have something different. So I wanted to know, is it possible to have a different opinion?
Yes,
your father.
it is possible.
Yeah.
Opinion different from your father.
Yeah.
Of course you can have. You cannot compare between Dasharatha Kaushalya, Dasharatha father of Ramacandra, and your biological father. So it's a good, different consideration, totally different consideration. But I understand you want to be following in the footsteps of Lord Rama. Okay, but your father also has to become like Dasharatha, of that caliber. Lastly, I tell you briefly if Dasharatha would not have promised to Kaikeyi in that way, would not have promised, and if, in other words, if Lord Rama would not have inspired his own father to have been giving such boon to Kaikeyi, that, okay, you can take 2 boons as you like from me. She did not take at that time. If Rāmacandra would not have gone to the exile for 14 years, if Dasharatha would not be broken-hearted, okay, in separation from Rāmacandra, then the Vipralambha, prema, the love pain in separation from his eldest son would not have been relished, would not have been felt, experienced by King Dasharatha. Then whole Rama-lila would not be created. Understand? Whole Ramayana, Rama-lila would not have been created if it would not be developing in such a way. So it was developed by will of Lord Rama, it was so developed. And so happened. So, even if King Dasharatha was found, Mother Kaushalya and King Dasharatha were found to be broken-hearted, suffering from extreme pain, but there was some transcendental joy, not joy, there was some transcendental relish. Even in that state, okay, feeling extreme love, tasting the extreme love for Ramachandra through separation, through the ways of separation. Yes, which could not be experienced by them in a normal, positive way. If everything would be just flowing in a just positive, blissful way, then there would be no scope for King Dasharatha and Mother Kaushalya to taste the Vipralambha prema of Ramachandra. You understand Vipralambha prema? The painful love felt in separation, caused by the separation from Krishna. The experience of most painful love pain, felt through the path of separation. That is also experience of love. That is also another quality of experience of great love, intense love, which is experienced through pain of separation. Okay? Pain of separation. So, it is called Vipralambha, union through separation, loving union. Okay, union in separation. So that could not happen for Kaushalya and Dasharatha. They would not have that scope of tasting the extreme love for Rama through separation. So that's why it was so arranged.
That was written in their karma.
It was no karma, lila. Karma cannot enter there, it's all lila. Therefore I am saying you cannot compare. Okay? Alright. So for your father, of course you can reasonably differ by opinion from your own father. Okay, because that's a different consideration. If it is proper, if you think what you are feeling, it's good, righteous, and that's how it should be done for the benefits of all, sometimes you can also differ. Okay, from your father by opinion. But at the same time, you should give proper consideration who is right. You are right or your father is right. So then you cannot blindly do it.
What to do when there's no one, like
there is no,
right or wrong?
There is no harder, what?
When there is no right and wrong, both are right.
It has to be, mostly on this mundane plane of existence. Either it is right or wrong. But there is a neutral state in between, neither right nor wrong. There you are inactive, you don't do anything over there. It is a state of equilibrium, neutrality. Whenever you are going to be active, you are doing something. Either it has to be right or it has to be wrong. Okay, in action, when you have no action, from a neutral state, almost without action, you are not committing to any side. It's a marginal state. Okay, so it can be a state of peace. peaceful happiness, okay, free from the obligations of judging, of becoming right or wrong. A neutral state, not so much full of accents in the neutral state. Sorry.
One important point, because there was a mention that Lord Rāmacandra was a devotee of his father. I don't know who mentioned that, but I find that an important point is that Lord Rāmacandra was in the Surya dynasty. So he was actually coming as a descendant of the Son of God, and he himself was a devotee not of his father but of the Son. He, in his own devotional practice, was a devotee of the Son. So,
that was also, he was playing that role. He was truly not a real devotee of Son or
beyond
his father, because
of
he's
the
Supreme
original
God.
absolute. And
Yeah, he's Supreme God, but he was playing such roles to create some taste of the Leela. If you don't create those scopes, such playful taste will not come. Understand? It is not really real. He was, no doubt, he was admirer of his father. So in that sense, he was a devotee of his father.
because his father was coming in the Sun dynasty.
Yes, Sun dynasty. So he was devoted in that way. Okay.
Not just because he was a father, just because he's my father, but because he was in the Sun dynasty.
Okay,
and
so Rāmachandra's position is even above the sun.
transcendental.
Sun comes from Rāmacandra.
The Sun is transcendental, as Rama is
Yes,
transcendental.
according to Tattva, sun comes from Lord Rama, not that Lord Rama is coming from the sun.
But to miss the point that he's instructing humanity by his example not only to follow his father, but to worship the sun. Because if you say he showed by example that he should obey his father,
he himself also engaged in so many worshipping. Lord Rama himself, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he himself also engaged in worshipping his subordinates.
not only the sun,
His
of course,
not only the sun,
not only the
other
sun,
demigods and
of course.
others, to set the example. Okay, like a noble human, noble ideal, best of human being, he set many examples.
That by
Not as the Tattva, as Lord of the Leela. There is a difference.
also that by meditating on the sun externally as well as internally, as is also taught by Narada Muni, and that through that any human himself can, with the transcendental guidance, after taking proper shelter under one takes shelter of a transcendental associate of the Supreme Lord in the Parampara, simultaneously meditating on the Lord without as the form of the sun, and within, meditating on the sun within, then one can themselves experience the same thing which Lord Rāmacandra
We have
experienced.
to understand in the first place, the sun, power of sun.
Is the aura, only the external aura.
Okay, the power and the effulgence of the sun, the heat, effulgence, great power of the sun
Byproduct.
is actually the expansion.
Just the byproduct. It's only the byproduct. Like sometimes a homeless
It is
person
none
from his
other than
body is coming
expansion
with
of
no
Lord
work,
Rama.
no extra effort. He makes no work. Only by just by his existence, all life is coming into existence. This is without any effort. This is just by his.
Will you please let me speak? I understand, but finally you have to understand that the whole powerful sun with his own light, aura, effulgence and heat is actually emanating from Lord Rama. Can you believe in
I
that?
believe in that. Yes, and
Yes.
Lord Lakshmi
Yes.
on the lotus.
Yes, so Lord Rama is the main origin, real origin, being the supreme divine absolute.
Behind the
Sun is
the
an
aura.
expansion.
It's just the external aura.
Yeah, aura, external power expansion. Power expansion. Power expansion of Lord Rama in the form of lights, aura, and other powers, heat and everything, which are required to maintain the creation. Okay. Sun does many functions. it helps to maintain, it destroys. So it creates, maintains and destroys. So anyway, Sun is always considered an expansion of the Supreme Absolute Divine, okay, in the form of Sun, an expansion of His great power and energy and lights, potency, heat.
It's the localized representative of
Yes,
Vishnu within
exactly.
our physical, in our
So,
realm, in this
exactly.
physical
And then
realm.
same Vishnu is being engaged in worshipping his own subordinate, his own expansion. It's a Leela. That's what I'm trying to explain. It's a Leela activity.
So my point
He
is,
is not bound to do that because Sun is subordinate.
but the sun part is integral to is not disconnected
I know,
from the
non-different,
rest of
not
the.
different, but see, anything emanating from the origin is non-different from the origin at the same time, but that cannot be the origin itself. There is a difference also. So the source is infinite, unlimited, infinite. Something expanding, extending, emanating from the origin is a part of that. Part cannot be equivalent, equally compared with the origin. That's the difference between Lord Rama and the Sun, although they are non-different. Origin of the power and the extension of the power from the origin are non-different.
I don't argue. It's totally. I
Non-different.
accept
At the
it.
same time, they are distinct.
Accept it.
Okay.
The personal feature is superior than,
There is
than
no
the
end.
impersonal feature.
There is no end of discussion about endlessness.
Absolutely.
Endlessness.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay? Hare Krishna.